Tonight at 6, a council member is demanding action after WCNC Charlotte discovered the city's tourism arm excluded minority and women-owned businesses from a series of paydays worth $750,000.
We believe we've responded to all your questions appropriately, and so we're finished.
Wow. I don't think every department head understands and really gets it.
When someone tipped us off about the Charlotte Regional Visitor Authority's longtime business relationship with a local leadership consultant, we took our questions directly to the head of the public authority. And this does come as Black-owned businesses push for the taxpayer-funded group for a more inclusive policy for government work.
Tonight, our Nate Morabito is asking, where's the money?
Charlotte City Council member LaWana Mayfield says she now wants the city manager to start asking some questions of his own and expects a full report back to council.
We're incredibly proud of our MWBE program.
Words are one thing.
It's really vital to our organization and to the way we operate and to our leadership team.
Actions are something else.
Anything changing internally, though, because of this?
No, as I said before, we believe we've already responded to these questions.
WCNC Charlotte discovered the CRVA paid Doug Bacon's company, throwing words $750,000 over a decade for consulting work.
Oh, 10 years. Wow.
Without ever considering other qualified small businesses.
It does make you raise your eyebrows.
Not only that, top CRVA executives used their words to give the leadership coach their stamp of approval.
They solved the problems with you.
First in an online testimonial, then during a company podcast.
And I really thank you too, Doug.
In response to our questions, the public authority only emailed written words defending the hire, touting the leadership coach's credentials and experience, and citing state law, which doesn't require competitive bids for service jobs. Later assuring us it always seeks to expand the supply chain so that it reflects the community's diversity and elevates community prosperity. But the CRVA never detailed any specific actions it would take to ensure this doesn't happen again.
And we really value our vendor relationships, and they've been trusted relationships for a long time.
CEO Tom Murray reaffirmed those talking points when we caught up with him after a recent board meeting.
And we believe that we've answered and responded to all of your questions appropriately, and so we're finished with that conversation.
Aware in advance, we intended to interview him.
I know that you all kind of had a singular focus in this case, excluded other small businesses, particularly minority and women. I think those people are wondering, how is that fair?
So, as we said before, or I just said before, we believe we've responded to all your questions appropriately, and so we're finished.
I'm disappointed.
We showed City Council member LaWana Mayfield the 55-second unedited interview.
There was not an acknowledgement that, yes, we dropped the ball. We need to make some internal changes.
The City Council approves annual CRVA funding.
That response to me is a bit tone deaf to the needs of our community.
And Mayfield is demanding action.
Myself and my colleagues need to let the manager know that we expect a report out from Mr. Murray. We need to do better.
We believe we've already responded to these questions.
Wow.
Christine Edwards agrees with Mayfield.
They are really poised to lead by example. They are poised to set the standard.
She once worked for local governments. Now she runs a community engagement firm that often contracts with area agencies. Edwards calls the CRVA's long-standing MWBE program a good start, aimed at offering procurement opportunities to minority and women-owned business enterprises, part of what the CRVA calls a commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion.
But I think that there's so much more to do.
She says more inclusive policies and better metrics are needed.
They're not a guarantee, but they are really a safeguard.
No one voiced concerns during the February board meeting we attended, but we've since discovered the CRVA has taken, at minimum, some form of action, quietly updating its website to solicit new MWBE vendor applications. We also reached out to the chairman of the CRVA board, who told us he has full confidence in the operation and management of the CRVA and its leadership. Nate Morabito, WCNC Charlotte.